Los Angeles, California, with Mad Scientist Party Hour.
Hello there, friends! Welcome back to another episode of Mad Scientist Party Hour. My name is Kevin Kraft, joined once again by a man who's had his pants and underwear stolen by the man, and he's currently stroking his boner off in protest. That's Jeff Clark.
What's up?
And beaming to us from the Upside Down, the bearded booger-eating demogorgon known as Shuddy Boy.
Yo. Brap, brap.
Brap, brap, indeed. So, how did I do with my NFL picks?
Well, what did you pick again?
I don't remember.
You went over 2.
Ah,
I'm pretty
really?
sure. I have to find where I wrote it. Because I think you picked the Lions and the Ravens.
I watched the Lions game with bitch ass Paul, and even though Paul's from Central New York, he is randomly a Lions fan, and I felt for him so bad. You know how cursed the Lions are, and last night's loss added another wrinkle to their franchise curse.
What happened?
They were up by 17 points, which is a lot in football. Just so you know, Kevin.
I hear that. I hear that's a lot in soccer too.
It'd be tough to come back from 17 down in soccer, but in football, much more doable. It happens pretty much every week in a full slate. But they blew a 17-point lead and ended up losing outright, and it was pretty unfortunate.
Man,
it was just bad
that
luck.
Game. Both games this weekend kind of made me a little bit more open to all of these NFL is rigged conspiracy theories that are being thrown around out there.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, I was actually going to rant about this episode. So I got
don't
some
believe
Republicans.
it, but I'm like, maybe there's something to it. If this, the Chiefs weren't favored and they just came in and pretty much skull fucked the Ravens. And
wait a second, didn't I pick the Queefs?
I don't have the paper. I can't find my note.
I think I did because that's where Taylor Swift's boyfriend plays, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but I thought you played 4D chess there, if I remember correctly, where you're like, everyone thinks they're going to win because of Taylor Swift, and I'm going to pick them to lose. I don't know why I remember it that way, but that's how I remember it.
I feel like...
If only it was recorded and there was a way to confirm
I know.
Well,
there's people yelling at home, he fucking picked the Lions and the Chiefs. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure I picked the Lions because if I'm remembering back to my stupid...
You definitely picked the Lions.
Yeah, because I thought they were going to upset everybody, and then I thought that people are so angry that Taylor Swift's team keeps winning because they hate Taylor Swift and think she controls black magic or some shit, that her team is going to win again just to piss everybody off. So the Lions would win and piss everybody off, and so would Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
that would have made for an Eminem Taylor Swift showdown at the Super Bowl.
Man, that would have been cool.
Which would have been cool.
Which would have been really fucking
Halftime's
cool.
like a little bit of celebrity boxing.
No, like in the Beat It video, they fucking tie a belt to their wrists and they knife fight at the 50-yard line.
That would be
That'd
sick,
be way
Shuddy.
sicker, actually.
Yeah.
Dude, so
Kevin would be
obviously...
so into the Super Bowl if all we told him is that Eminem and Taylor Swift are going to knife fight during halftime.
Yeah,
this is what I've been waiting for.
He'd actually come to my Super Bowl party.
Oh, yeah. I'd get wasted, too. I'd be the most belligerent drunk there.
You should come anyways, dude.
I don't know. When is it again?
Other than it's a Super Bowl that I could probably not be any less interested in.
Well, I'm interested in them all because of gambling, but I hear
Well,
you.
yeah, but like the most unlikable quarterback in the league and the most unlikable team.
You don't like Mahomes? Is that what you're saying?
He is such a
Or is it the other one?
fucking prima donna bitch. No, I fucking hate Patrick Mahomes. If there is not a player in the NFL that calls for a flag on every play more than he does.
That's
He is-
that's a valid point.
He is a whiny little self-entitled cunt, and I hate
Man.
Patrick Mahomes right now more than I ever hated Tom Brady. I would go back to the Brady days to not have to look at his fucking stupid face, his stupid helmet that sits too high on his head, and listen to him talk like Kermit with a cock in his mouth.
Pushback though.
Good Lord.
You and I look at Tom Brady a little differently because our teams beat him in the Super Bowl. Like there's
That
like
is true.
Bills, Jets, Dolphins fans, Ravens, Colts, like Steelers, like they all have legitimate fucking hatred for that guy. And it's like,
Listen, I hated when Tom Brady would be asked those times that Tom Brady would be asking for a penalty to be called when there was obviously a penalty and like his lips bleeding and he's like, "Where's the flag?" I'd be like, "Fucking pussy, you're playing football." Patrick Mahomes gets breathed on and he's like, "Where's the roughing the passer?" Or it's obnoxious. And then that shit he did during warm-ups yesterday was fucking lame as fuck. Like he's just a pussy.
Man, I
And
love
this
when
is
Shuddy Boy gets
confident.
us pissed.
I'm confident Kevin could kick his ass in a fist fight.
Oh, come on. Let's not be crazy here.
yeah, I would bet you on that one for sure.
Yeah, I don't.
I'll lay whatever odds you want too. You can give fucking Kevin 10-1. Sure.
I don't think
You
I
better
could.
pay off Mahomes.
I don't think I could beat any of the cheerleaders in a fist fight in the NFL. There's let alone any of the players. Anybody associated with the NFL could beat me up. The janitors, the owners, even the ones that are like in their 80s and 90s, all of them could fuck me up. Not even
I
break
have
a sweat.
faith that with what a fucking snowflake Patrick Mahomes is, you could take him, Kevin.
Yeah, you could beat George Hallis's daughter up. She's like 70 at this point.
Wait, someone's daughter is 70?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the owner of the Bears who like bought the team in fucking 1920 or something.
I think she
He
could take
gave
me.
it to his daughter.
She could probably take me.
I'd
bet
I
on
would
her.
bet you on that one, but your lack of confidence does kind of frighten me. I gotta be honest. I like that Mahomes take, man. I've never heard that one before. I like that. That's good.
I just,
Yeah.
I
A
didn't
lot
have
of
a
players
problem.
do it, and I never associated that with him. But now that you mention it, it's like I'm going to start looking for that. 'Cause I
Like-
hate that shit too.
Like it happens all the fucking time. Like
Yeah.
it happens all the time. And
It's
then
turning into NBA.
it is. The flopping is fucking
No.
insane. I mean, the Eagles punter did it in one of the last games of the season, and I thought it was fucking ridiculous. Like,
I think every guy that's running with the ball near out of bounds, when they get touched, they should fucking flail and like throw themselves. Like
it
for the
was
gamesmanship, it's super lame, but like there is gamesmanship behind it.
it was comical watching the Eagles punter do it, trying to get a roughing the kicker
Yeah.
call, and the guy on the Giants who he was trying to get it like held him up and kept him from being able to throw himself on the
And he
ground.
was like dead weight. He's just like,
Yeah.
Look like a trust fall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking, like
I think the Giants guy literally carried him for like 10 yards. So like, see, he's not,
like
he
I
didn't hit the
I
ground.
did not throw him to the ground. Like,
Yeah.
it was fucking
Like,
ridiculous.
he looked like a little child. He just like, it's like when I put little mama on the couch.
So like, is there any way to combat that? Can they institute a rule where like if you're caught blatantly flopping, that I don't know,
They can.
Tanya Harding will come out and hit you in the leg with a pipe, or
They they wouldn't officiate it like that, but they can do something. You know what I mean? Like they did that in the NBA starting it this year, where they'll give a technical foul for a flop. It's not called very much. Hockey did it the best. They were diving in hockey. I remember when I was growing up, they were diving in hockey to try to get tripping penalties. They did it for a year, and like hockey, and maybe not even a year, like 6 months into it, hockey's like, no, this is bitch shit. We'll call it diving penalty. And you know what I mean? Like they immediately turned it off. Like, no, you guys aren't doing this bitch shit. Like, you better not fucking dive. They could do something in the NFL. It's just tough because it's like there's so much space. There's so many moving parts. There's so many, like, it's so fast. These guys are so big. It's hard to tell in real time what is legitimate or what would be a fake. Oh yeah, here it is. This is hilarious, Kevin.
This is the trust fall?
Yeah.
All right. Ah.
He's holding him up. Like, the guy's trying to take a time. He's not letting him.
Wow. Oh, I didn't even realize it was somebody on the other team.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of his own teammates. Like, dude, don't fucking do this. Don't fucking embarrass us right now.
No.
So
this
wait,
guy's trying to take a penalty. The other guy's like, no, I'm not letting you fall.
it looked kind of romantic. That was.
It looked like he was like dipping him in a dance.
Yeah.
It also kind of looked date rapey. It's like, no, I can't move my legs. Stop it.
Sorry, guys, my date's a little drunk. I got to get her home. This is embarrassing. Hey, stop that guy. So wait, did the guy, what was the end result there? Did the guy get in trouble for like holding him up?
No, the ref is standing right there. He's like, this is obvious. Yeah, no, nobody got in any trouble.
The ref looks over, he's like, oh, this is cute.
Yeah, and his teammates didn't make fun of him probably because like he's a punter, so they all assume he's a bitch anyway. So what are you going to say? Like, oh, you're more of a bitch? Like, they don't,
I mean, the most egregious usage of all this flopping is soccer, right?
Yeah, soccer's all bad.
I should clarify
NBA.
because men's adult soccer. I don't want anybody thinking I'm talking about real soccer, which is children playing it on a field.
Or women. Women flop a lot less than men.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a not a weird thing, but yeah, it is a particular thing. Yeah, women flop less than men.
When the men flop, you would think like they have a career-ending injury. The way that they go down. And
I've seen
they roll around on the ground.
Yeah, I've seen
on the ground.
Stuff on social media that sort of, somehow makes its way to my eyes. So it's the most egregious shit ever, where someone like walks by a guy and he does like a Matrix like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like,
they have highlight videos of LeBron doing it where LeBron will be tapped and he'll like jump into the audience.
LeBron does
WWE, like a WWE match.
So so you're saying the NBA kind of put a stop to it, right?
No, the NHL dropped it. The NBA's trying to. Slowly they might get there, but probably not.
So is there any are people like pushing for that in soccer? Like, come on, let's play a game here and not do with all this fucking these people trying to get out here trying to get Oscars.
No, the soccer fans have just accepted it as part of the game, part of the culture.
Oh God, that's so lame. So like hockey fist fights and brawls have just sort of been like, part of the game. We've just accepted it. And soccer is like, oh really?
Not anymore.
No more fighting.
They fight still, right? It's not as crazy as like the 90s.
It's not as prevalent, unfortunately, because some might say fighting is one of the best, other than the goals, fighting and checking are the cornerstones of hockey. And
we've talked about this over the years, and we showed you a video once, Kevin, but there was a game between Shuddy's team and my team, the Devils and Rangers, where they put out they call them checking units. And they're like the last, like they play the least because they have the least skilled. Yeah, but they're like more like the physical tough guys. So they put the 2 checking units out to start the game just to get the fight started. So like they drop the puck everyone backs up, puts down the stick, and finds a guy to fight in the very first like part of the game.
Awesome.
We showed you a video of it before. I remember it was years ago, and it was fucking sick. And they'll do that. They don't do it as much anymore, but they'll do it in like one hockey game a year, where it's like division rivals, and it's like
they're there to
like,
just beat ass, not play.
The
like,
NHL
we're
though
gonna fight
has,
right now. Let's get it out of the way. Like, do it right now. Like, let's fight.
the NHL has tried to eliminate fighting as much as possible to make it more family friendly.
Yeah, but
Which
which
is
is
a bummer.
stupid.
Yeah, I feel like
It's
weird.
families were watching NHL in the 90s, right? I mean, that's the
Yeah.
whole reason I played the NHL games in the 90s on Genesis was to fuck people up. Like, I just wanted a fighting
Yeah.
game.
It's weird because it's like it's such a part of the fabric of the NHL. But in international hockey, there's not fighting.
Yeah,
There's
it's not
not.
allowed.
Yeah, it's like and the games are as good, if not better, really.
There's just too many angry Americans.
I don't
It
know
might be
what
the
it is.
Canadians. It might be the
Oh.
Canadians.
I mean, hockey, besides actually baseball, which is surprising to people, hockey's probably the most diverse sport. I mean, you have so many countries represented. So it's not just Americans, Canadians, like, you know,
I would like to
Swedish
cheers
people.
to diversity.
No. Yeah, fuck.
One of the
Don't
things
bring
that
it
I
up.
love about the NHL is just the diversity of it all.
God damn it. Walk right into that. But no, it's not just the Americans. Everyone in hockey's like kind of down to fight. I don't know, it's just part of it. It's part of like NHL culture.
I mean, yeah, it seems like a very frustrating sport to play. Like, you're constantly fucking like checking people and they're checking you and you're up against the ice and some dickhead's just like just shoving you as you're trying to hit you know, you got to blow off a little steam, sock someone right in the fucking mouth.
There's only so many times you can get hit with a stick before it's like, all right, let's fight. Fuck you, dude.
Man.
Which, speaking of hockey, on Friday I did a nostalgia double feature of the Mighty Ducks and D2.
I thought D2 was better than D1. What do you think? And I think D3 is underrated.
I've seen neither.
So that used to be my take, Jeff. That used to be my take, is that D2 is a better movie than the Mighty Ducks. But I've never watched them back to back before, and they're very different movies.
Yeah, the story in the first one is more about like Emilio Estevez's like redemption, kind of, right?
Well, I mean,
it's almost like hardball meets hockey.
More importantly, what I thought, like, they put in so many campy jokes and sound effects and stuff in D2 that weren't in the original Mighty Ducks. Like, the original Mighty Ducks was more of a serious kids sports movie, and like the Bad News Bears, sort of, kind of, like, not the same. It wasn't as filthy as the Bad News Bears was, but
that's vulgarity.
But then D2 was 100% leaned into being a kids movie and was zany and had wacky jokes and sound effects. And
Dishadi, do you think there's any chance that I would enjoy any of the Mighty Ducks movies?
I think you would enjoy the first one.
Really?
I really do think you would enjoy the first one.
All right, I will try to. Looks like it's on Disney Plus. I will try to watch that and report back. I'll try and make that my homework.
I think you will like that one. The second one was good. I still enjoyed it very much. But watching it now, so many years later, it really is just a blatant commercial for Disney's hockey team. Really, is all that they turned that movie into. Was
the Ducks hockey team?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, okay. Am I Mandela affecting myself here, or did that team never exist? They made a movie and then they created the team in real life.
That is 100% accurate.
Yeah.
So was that? Do you think that was Disney's plan all along? We'll make this movie and then we'll fucking make this team and own them. Like Disney owns that team, or do they own like the rights
They
to it?
don't
Like
anymore. But I don't think that was the case. I think it was I think when the NHL expanded with the Ducks and the Lightning, Disney seized an opportunity and used that they had this movie franchise, so they had a hockey team name, and then they could just cross market them together.
Yeah, not a bad move.
But like the finals of the Junior Goodwill games take place at the arena in Anaheim where the Mighty Ducks played. They wear the same uniforms as the NHL Mighty Ducks in the last period of the game.
I wonder if the writer of that movie gets like a piece of it. Because if that was like a spec script, what the fuck am I talking about? Disney doesn't buy spec scripts.
He does not get points on the Ducks like revenue.
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, I'm like,
hockey.
I always think of things from like a spec script perspective, and like there's no way Disney was just like, let's just see what writers out in the free range writers are coming up with. Like it was some like fat cat sitting in his office with a big fucking stogie hanging out of his mouth, like, hey, you knows what I thinks? We can make some monies if we get some NFLs is. And that guy gets the points.
Trying to like make a move on getting part ownership of the Yankees by writing a script.
No, but
and I apologize. It was the Florida Panthers that were that came at the same time as the Ducks.
If I wrote a script with like a fictional sports team in it, and then that team became a team in real life, I would be like, I created, that was me. That was my idea. But Mighty Ducks, that was definitely like, some exec came up with that idea, and they hired a studio writer to do it. So never mind. My brain is farting out of control right now.
My brain is being stupid.
Quick shout out to our homie Dustin Ibarra. I tried to get him on the show today, but he's
Too
traveling
big for us now.
Yeah, I think he's still on the East Coast and having a travel day, perhaps. But yeah, he crushed it on the Tonight Show. His appearance went great. Said Jimmy pulled him aside afterwards and told him his set was fucking awesome, and said he wants to have him back. So great night for our homie, for Dustin. And coincidentally, I didn't even realize that his special was done. Like, I would check in with them every now and then, be like, hey, dude, how's the special coming along? Because, we were both editing at the same time, and he would be like, yeah, still working on it. And then I watch his Tonight Show appearance, and he's like, yeah, his new special's out on YouTube right now. I was like, oh, shit. So not only can you watch Dustin's episode on Peacock if you have it, the Tonight Show put his set up on their YouTube channel. So you can watch just his, 5 minutes on YouTube. And then Dustin's brand new special, That Will Not Do, is for free on YouTube right now. It's a half-hour special. And you don't even have to look all that hard in the audience shots to see, members of the Puminati. You got Art, along with Nikki Dabbs, Butt Package, and then you can see Carl and Jeff. And can you see, was Cheech there? Cheech was there, right?
Yeah.
Because I haven't watched the whole thing through yet, just because it's been a little bit of a hectic weekend. But I did, I know Jeff's head is covering my head for pretty much all the shots. But we were all there for it, watching it in real time, and it was fucking awesome. And I
Hilarious.
know that it was a longer set than 30 minutes, so they must have trimmed it down and just tried to keep it a very fucking lean, sleek 30-minute special. And it's out there on YouTube, so fucking go out there, search it out. Dustin Ibarra, That Will Not Do. subscribe because it's Dustin's YouTube page that isn't really used all that much, but I'm guessing now that special's there, he's going to try and make it a little bit more active. So hook him up with a subscribe, like the special, share it, throw him like a pat on the back in the comments.
Yeah.
Help the homie out.
Show him some love.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about it with him after the show. He was all, I thought he said something like it will be finished. It'll be edited by like next year, which I guess is right,
Yeah.
It was the next year. But like, I don't know. I thought he, when we were talking about it, he said like 8 or 9 months. It's like, what, dude? You can't do that over the weekend? But yeah, I surprised he didn't like ping you and be like, oh, my special came out. Shout it out.
I know. Well, I mean, it was a bit of a whirlwind for him. Like, he was not expecting to get booked on the Tonight Show. So
you should have had his agent ping you.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess speaking of editing and stuff, John Cooper, just a real quick update on that because I know people get annoyed if I talk about it too much. But I believe this week it is going to get sent off to Sound and Color. Editing was pretty much done, and then I gave it another pass, and I had way more notes than I expected to. So I gave those off. Editor got a new cut last night, so I watched it this morning, and just had 2 more small things that I wanted to clarify on. Because, it's once you move on, it's hard to go back. It's not like locked in stone, but I just want to make sure that when we move on from the editing process, it's at the right time. I don't want it to have it come out and be like, man, you know what? I fucking noticed that and I didn't say anything and I should have. Like,
but
first shot at a movie, I want to make sure that everything is exactly how I want it to be. If it takes a tiny bit longer, then, it's unfortunate, but that's kind of the way it has to go.
There's always the risk, though, of over tinkering.
There is, but when I've been in person with the editor, I was like, I have nothing to compare this to. It's my first time doing it. So if I'm being a little nitpicky with some of this stuff, I apologize. He's like, dude, sometimes the editing process takes so long because directors do like 40 cuts. And that's not even on the absurd end of the spectrum. It's high, but it's not just like, holy fucking shit, what is going on here? Like, some people just stay in the editing process for so long. And, from just being a movie fanatic my whole life, when you're really, really looking forward to a movie and you saw the headline that they wrapped shooting it and you're just like, fucking come on, put it out already. You shot it, right? Fucking give it to us. Now, seeing how the sausage is made, it really is just like, you see where time slows down.
Well, it's like when you're in the movies in the summer and you see a trailer and then it comes Christmas 2024 and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Well, that's a whole other thing, because I'm talking about trailers, the early stages of getting a trailer made now, and it's just, I know what I hate from trailers, especially with comedies. They show all the best jokes to rope you in, and then all that stuff is blown. So, when you see it in the context of the movie, you don't laugh as hard or find it as funny as you did when you first saw it. But you do also want the trailer to look funny, because if you see a fucking trailer for a comedy, you're like, well, that doesn't look funny at all, because you're saving all the best jokes for the movie. No one's going to watch it. So I want to make sure it doesn't blow a lot of jokes, even though if I can fillet my own penis for a moment, I do think it is. I think it's pretty heavy on the jokes. I'm proud of the amount of solid bits that are in there. But I don't want to blow too many, and I also don't want to blow too much of the plot. Like, trailers these days, they're getting longer. There's some fucking movie coming out called The Monkey Man, and it kind of looks like John Wicky. And
looks good, right?
It does look good.
I thought I saw that trailer recently. Maybe it was during football last night or whatever. I was like, oh.
Well, Carl and I were watching it on my phone, and the fucking thing, I'm just like, how is this? She's like, I feel like we just saw the whole movie, and I paused it, and we were 3 minutes into a 3.5-minute trailer, and I was like, oh, that's too much, way too much. There have been instances where they show the final scene of a movie in the fucking trailer. So I do want to walk that tightrope of playing some of the jokes close to the vest and not give away the entire goddamn plot of the movie. But I know the trailer's not going to come until sound mix and color correction is done, which I'm hoping only takes a couple weeks because we're still looking at recording date right now. It is January 29th. They still think we are on track to be 100% finished and sending links out to people early March. So a month and change, and we're in fucking business. So it's
hopefully your life completely changes.
Have you decided on if you're doing a premiere or if you're waiting for it to be picked up?
Oh no!
Or
I mean, when it's done, we're 100% renting out a theater somewhere, and cast, crew, friends, pack this out, and do a quick screening. Because it's not like
how much
a Hollywood
would
movie.
that cost, you think?
I don't think it's that much. Ever since when stuff opened up post-COVID, a lot of theaters were like, hey, if you want to rent an entire theater out just so you and your friends can watch this movie without any strangers, here's the flat rate. And it's not all that bad.
Dude, it's like $100 at AMC.
Dude, we can get a red carpet on Amazon for $17.
I'm just going to put in the Evite, bring your own red carpet. Bring your own paparazzi.
I got it, guys. I'll use some of my Patreon funds for this.
Or I'll do the Parks and Rec route and tell everybody to just get red carpet liners put in their shoes, so everywhere they walk, they're on the red carpet.
Wait a second. That was 24 inches wide, 15 feet long. 24 inches wide, 50 feet long. It's $37. Never mind. I can't do that.
Yeah,
I'll go halves with you, Jeff.
No, I was just kidding. I can do it.
No, I think if we put in this $30 investment, though, that gets us a producer credit.
Oh, okay. So you want in on that?
You think that, do you?
At least get us each half a point.
This is like the Mighty Ducks screenwriter, huh?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You're just gonna get nothing and like it.
I bought the red carpet, so I make the first $1 million that John Cooper gets.
Yeah.
You get the first free bucket of popcorn, Jeff.
Nobody gets paid until I get my investment paid back. That's how we're doing this.
I want my large Coke and my large popcorn. I swear to God, I'll take the fucking red carpet away.
I will set this red carpet on fire. Man, I know we don't really cover current events all that much on the show, but holy fuck, did you guys see that Vince McMahon shit?
I did. I made a joke about it, and someone in the Puminati was not happy.
That was where I was going to go with this. Did you make your Vince McMahon joke prior to knowing what was going on? Because I saw that whole exchange. I saw your Royal Rumble tweet, and then I saw immediately the person who was like, whoa, bad timing, bro. Google Vince McMahon. I was like, I wonder if Jeff didn't know that Vince McMahon is the slime ball everybody thought he was.
Yeah, right. I did know. I did. And
I didn't even see your tweet.
It was in bad taste. No, I just joked because I was watching. I actually watched the Royal Rumble because it was that is my favorite event. And we already have Peacock, so.
It was an old school Jeff tweet. It was definitely one that you probably might have pulled for Jeff's Twitter diarrhea back in the day. Man, Jeff, would you like to...
Hold on, let me just read it. Oh, my... Man, I
gotta go back there, though. I have to find it.
I know. I have to go through all of Jeff's stupid fucking math betting bullshit with all his pluses and minuses and fucking calculus he puts in. Man.
Yeah, it's all formulas.
Man, you really do have Twitter diarrhea. Jesus Christ. No wonder I didn't see this.
Promoting my own stuff.
Uh, oh my God, Jesus Christ, Jeff.
Someone in the Illuminati is like, this is a bad take. And I was like, it's not a take, it's just a joke. He's like, I thought you were above joking about a sexual assault. I'm not. I'm sorry. No, I'm not above that. But
I mean,
shitty story, right? Pun not intended.
I mean, I didn't look too far into it because I'm in the same camp as Shuddy. Like, Vince McMahon has kind of just had this reputation for years for just being a straight up ghoul. Like, money over, like, profits over people is like an understatement in his world. Like,
Oh yeah.
if it came down to, giving the Undertaker a life-ending head bump or some shit, and it's like, all right, if we give him this knock on the head that kills him, you will make 1 nickel more. But if you don't bonk him on the head, he'll live. Be like, I want that fucking nickel. Bonk his head. Kill that son of a bitch. That nickel's mine, goddammit. My nickel. And
I'm kind of over the whole biopic thing, but we talked about this over the last like couple of years. But where I was saying, once Vince McMahon dies, his biopic is going to be fucking sick because there's no way he's going to let it get produced as good as it could be or as authentic as it could be while he's alive.
I mean, when he dies, does that dissolve like the NDAs he's had people sign? Because like, I mean, if this is the type of stuff that's going to come out, you're going to have to get the guy that directed fucking Human Centipede to make the Vince McMahon biopic. Like, he seems like
I guess the question is, can his children sue? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. But I mean, I didn't know this stuff until I heard somebody else talking about it. I was kind of like tuning it out, and when I heard that like he shit on a woman's head, I had to stop. I was like, hold on, are you being facetious? Are you like over exaggerating? Are you making a joke? They're like, no, dude, that's like in the complaint. That's in the lawsuit. He pooped on a lady's head. And I was like, all right. I put like an alarm in my phone. Google Vince McMahon poop. And I looked it up when I got home. And okay, so obviously you have to set aside the baseline, which is just absolutely fucking horrible and disgusting to, sexually assault somebody, rape somebody, sex traffic them, like S-tier scumbag shit. But to then incorporate pooping on somebody's head. So from what I gathered from the like quick blurbs about it, he was like, he hired this woman and then was like kind of dangling shit. Like, okay, if you do all this fucked up sex stuff, your career will advance. You'll get all these promotions. Fuck this guy. Fuck that guy. Text that guy nudes. Like, I'll make it worth your while. And if you don't, you are fucked. So like, yeah, form of sex trafficking. You basically entrap somebody to just basically be your like hooker, for lack of better words.
Yeah,
like
pimping her out, basically.
Yeah, you're a fucking treat for rich people that I need to impress or win over. And like I saw that Brock
Lesnar specifically.
Yeah, holy shit. Like, and it's also like, okay, so if we're doing the whole benefit of the doubt thing, let's say you're Brock Lesnar and all of a sudden this woman who works for WWE is sending you like racy videos. Like, I guess there is that benefit of the doubt, and forgive me if this has already been proven wrong because I don't fully know, but like if you're just getting these texts like, whoa, hell yeah, I'm back, baby.
No, the way I interpreted what I read was that Vince was a middleman between Brock and her. So the conversations kind of between Vince and Brock were, she's yours if you want her, and I'll give you whatever you want to come back to the WWE, including her. And Brock's like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, so you throw in this lady, and then he had to go back to her and be like, hey, look, you're a part of this fucking deal I'm trying to make, so you have to go fuck this guy?
Yeah, yep.
Whew. Man.
That's the way I interpreted it. I didn't even get to the shitting part. That was a revelation that I learned about after seeing Jeff's tweet.
I mean,
That's all I heard.
Like that seems to be the only part that I didn't hear somehow.
Was it her head that he shat on, or
that's
was
what
it
I
someone
heard.
else's?
I don't know, because it was tried to. From what I saw in this article, they didn't get too far into it, and they quoted some of the language from the lawsuit, which seemed to be trying to present it in a more fucking, clinical manner. So, from what I saw, it was like she was in a threesome with Vince McMahon and somebody else. He took a shit on her head and then made her continue to, quote, pleasure his friend. So, like, take the fucking sex trafficking horribleness out of it. And let's just say Shuddy and I were fucking freaks. And we found some girl that was really into hooking up with both of us. And then at some point I was just like, hey, lady, I'm going to poop on your head. And keep that turd on your head and keep blowing Shuddy boy. Like, I feel like just a
Why
threesome.
do I have to be brought into this?
I mean, do you want to be pooping on her head?
I mean, I don't think...
Either way. Oh, shit, Jeff just bounced. Jeff bounced.
We turned him on too much.
I just didn't want to be... I was happy I got left out, so I was like, I'm going to just cut my camera, and I'm not in this story anymore.
But, like, for the sake of discussion, a threesome with 3 willing participants, I feel like if somebody farts, that is ruined. Threesome over. Like, why is his friend still participating now that there's fucking poo involved? What type of sick fucking mental patient do you have to be to shit on someone's head? Just...
Sounds like you're poking holes in her argument. Or in her testimony.
Stop it, Jeff.
I'm poking holes in fucking Vince McMahon's soul. Jesus Christ.
It's a power thing. It's all about the degradation of this woman. Making them... That's why they're continuing to carry on, because degrading them makes them feel strong and powerful, and it gets them off.
Carry on wayward, my son.
And the other guy had a clothespin on his nose.
I mean, once you see someone bust out a clothespin, you got to fucking head for the hills. I mean, fuck.
Dude,
man,
that's crazy to me. Like, how could you even have to shit in that? It's like, you know what I mean? Like, how could you even have to shit while you're doing a threesome?
That and like
I've never been like mid-sex and be like, I gotta poop right now.
I don't think I have either, and I've had to poop in some really weird circumstances.
Yeah,
you also never know what kind of
off once I'm,
You also never know what kind of a poo it's going to be. Like it could be a log.
Cared about that. I don't think we need to discuss that one.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But like it says like she had to
and not poop on her because it's diarrhea. So that's gonna go. We'll wait for another time.
I want to drop a fucking log at her head, maybe give her a concussion. I don't want to like ruin her hair.
But even like Vince's homie who was in that situation with him, like it says in the lawsuit that it continued, and like, fuck, how do you even want to keep going when you can smell your friend's poo like out in the open?
That's why I made the joke about him having a clothespin on his nose.
But still, like, I don't know. They'd have to like. Not only are they like sick fucks, incredibly disturbed, sex trafficking rapists, they must also have poo fetishes. Because even if you are just into the whole degradation of it, that I can't picture that carrying somebody to the point where you're just going to ignore a poo. That has
Kevin,
to be.
There are people who get off because of shit.
I know. All I'm saying is how do you check all those boxes? Like rapist, yes. Sadistic, yes. Sex trafficker, yes. Poo fetishist, yes. But like Jesus Christ, what the fuck went wrong with you?
Yeah, Vince McMahon's probably evil. Allegedly.
I know, but that's
Yeah, I
like,
mean, this is something he probably never bounces back from.
I fucking hope not. I hope this woman takes him for everything he's fucking worth.
I wonder, like, what was like her breaking point, or I wonder, like, at what point she's like, you know what, I'm just gonna collect as much like data or whatever as I can, like, sure, shit on my head because I'm gonna end up flipping on you.
This didn't seem like, I think from what I saw, she got hired in 2019.
Yeah, this is all
Oh my
pretty
God.
recent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like
if,
this is let's see.
I thought it was like a '90s story.
no.
No, this is all current. Um,
So while fucking Vince's wife was going off to work in the White House, he's fucking pooping on people's heads. Like, I can only imagine, like, after all this shit went down, she probably found a lawyer, a legal team, and like, look, this is the stuff that went down, and they were just like, what? And then you're going up against somebody who has more money than God, very powerful, and there's still this air in society where there's this faction of people where they're like, if you accuse somebody that I like of doing something bad, I'm on their side no matter what. So you have that uphill battle there. You've got this guy's army of lawyers. So I'm sure just putting all this together and making it as airtight as possible to nail this fucking scumbag probably took a long fucking time. But Jesus Christ.
Damn,
fuck
that's
him.
crazy.
Fuck him. What a fucking ghoul.
Yeah, he's legitimately evil, huh?
Like that's I feel like
it
that's the
was
level of
John
evil.
Laurinaitis, the former head of talent relations. That she
I don't think I know who that is.
I don't either, but she alleged the pair took turns holding her down for each other while sexually assaulting her in the office.
Jesus. Man.
Gee, wasn't he? I thought his kid was in. Yeah, Road
Yeah,
Warrior.
James Lauren.
Oh, John. Okay. Wait, no, John Laurinaitis is the Road Warrior from
Mel Gibson?
Animal from the Road Warriors,
Oh.
No.
right? I just looked up
No.
John Laurinaitis.
Yeah.
John Laurinaitis was Johnny Ace. This is
Oh, that's his sibling. Okay, yeah, never mind. His sibling is.
so this is the other guy.
Gotcha. Okay. Because his
This-
brother's kid was in the NFL.
Yeah, James.
Gotcha. Okay.
He was
Okay.
a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Man, even my like I'm on a text thread with my homies from Pennsylvania, my old skate and stunt video buddies, and they've all been WWE diehards since like the WWF days, and everybody on that text was like, fuck him, fuck this guy, what a fucking scumbag, throw his ass in jail.
Does that mean they're going to stop watching?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It doesn't. He doesn't have a lot to do with the product. Really, anything to do with the product currently. Obviously, he was.
yeah, because he just got
A major
hit with a
figure.
whole bunch of shit like before this about being like, you know, a sexual
Yeah,
deviant
and-
and fucking with people.
And he stepped down.
Yeah, and
But
then
he
he
didn't-
and then he snuck back into like a different role where he can just keep the cash flow coming. So, man, hopefully it just slams the door on that scumbag for good.
It's kind of crazy though, like how just I don't know immune he thought he was, or how like bulletproof he thought he was, because he stepped
Well-
down amid the other allegations. But he had to remember, like, wait, I did shit on someone's head, and maybe she could be mad eventually. He's like, nah, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, actually.
I mean, even if you think about it, like going back to the Don Draper days, and like even in the 80s, my mom said when she first started working at this stock brokerage, just working in a Wall Street environment, it was just a fucking random office in New Jersey that it was such a boys' club that, you know, there were nights where everybody had to work late, and she said it was like fucking Wolf of Wall Street. Like I was when we that was one of in our string of awkward Christmas movies that we went and saw in the theater. Like as we left, I was like,
Movie.
I was like, shit, was it like that when you were working in stocks in the 80s? She was like, yeah. She's like, I was one time working in my cubicle. It was late because something big had happened and our firm got like a fuckload of money. So everybody's working late. The big shots are all partying and getting fucking wasted. And, you know, the workers are there doing all the real work. And she said they hired strippers and there were like naked women just doing cartwheels down the hallway. And she's just at her desk working. So like, even back then, like you go to like, you know, the whole boys will be boys era of like chicks getting pinned up against the wall in the office and forcibly kissed and all that horrible shit. Like even back in those days, if you're like, yeah, you know, the president just pooped on somebody, you'd be like, oh my, like even those guys are going to be like, oh, too far, man, too far. And to hire somebody, like a new hire in 2019 to be like, yeah, you're pretty much just here to be fucking sex trafficked and degraded. It's just take the ghoulishness aside of it, but just like, how do you not even think? Okay, fine. You're a ghoul. You know it. You know you're a scumbag piece of shit. But you really think
that's my point.
Well,
He thinks he's that untouchable. It's just like, hey, fuck
because
it.
if he's doing this in this day and age, he has probably been doing. It's probably been a cycle of abuse for a very long time, and he's always been able to pay his way out of it to where he thought he was untouchable, and she just wasn't having it.
Yeah, it just
I
sucks.
think I made the joke about how like
It's probably going to be a situation where in the next couple of weeks, it's just going to get piled on and piled on and piled on. And
you think there's going to be a lot more stuff coming out?
And
probably, yeah.
there are going to be, I bet you there are a lot of women who signed NDAs and took checks who have been on the phone with their lawyers over the last few days, seeing how ironclad the NDA is.
So Vince McMahon, I just Googled it. He is currently 78 years old.
Yeah, it's like
So,
a Bill Cosby situation.
4
where
years
it's like,
ago,
people are going to be like, "Oh, he's fine. He's going to get what's coming to him." It's like, he already won. It
I know.
Sucks to hear it, but he already won.
It really does suck that these. I mean, if you're going to get somebody, like, at least he didn't die and then they got him. Like, but it sucks that you get to live just this luxurious life of being untouchable, and then just get nipped in the bud right at the end. It's like, fuck.
Are him and Linda divorced?
I have no idea.
No, I think it's like a team.
Wow. According to Forbes, he's also worth $2.8 billion. I have a feeling that number is going to change soon.
Why?
You don't think he's going to get cleaned out? Lawsuits?
Well, I don't know. Shuddy I have no idea. Shuddy made the point that made sense to me where a lot of people sign NDAs.
Yeah, but I feel like
he was open for a lawsuit for years, and they can't get him. Hey, I don't think you can take back the money. I don't know. I'm speculating. I guess I have no idea. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I
we're
mean,
not
not exactly.
None of us are legal minds.
Yeah, I'm not exactly a law scientist over here.
I thought I made the joke to you guys years ago, but it's like if hostile was actually a thing, like I do think Vince McMahon's a client.
Oh,
I think you've said that in the past, right?
Yeah,
that's what
like
he
I wouldn't be surprised if he murdered someone, like for sure.
I wouldn't either.
You know what I mean? Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a fucking snuff film of him out there.
yeah,
Vince McMahon definitely picked up some illegals at Home Depot and set them loose on his property and went hunting them with dogs for sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be like, oh, that's a crazy thought, right? Your first instinct, that's crazy, but then it's like, well, he did shit on someone's head and then make her continue blowing his friend, and like once you once you start with that, it's kind of like, okay, now almost anything's possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now it's
those
like, all
dots
right, well,
don't get like that. Having that dot of shitting on somebody's head and making them blow your friend connects very easily to all other kinds of depravity.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
you're really kind
like-
of going down from there, really.
yeah. If they were like, hey, Vince
Like-
McMahon has a fucking Buffalo Bill style well in his basement, be like, yeah. Yeah, that's very plausible.
Not as weird as him shitting on a girl's head and making her blow John Laurinaitis.
Fucking hell, man.
So in this, all right. So in that situation, is John Laurinaitis the weirdest one there? He is, right? I mean, really, it's only between him and Vince.
Yeah. I mean, I feel
How
like
do you even stay hard for that? Like, I'd be like, Wait
Thank
a
you,
second.
Jeff, for bringing us back to the conversation we had 10 minutes ago that you really didn't chime in on. Did you miss all of that? Kevin was asking that question.
I said these sort of things, but yeah, I guess we're circling back. My bad.
I mean, yeah, any normal person, again, altering the scenario to where this is like a willing participant, someone gets pooped on, you fucking run and back, like, what? You don't stay there and potentially, like, get that guy's poop on you. Like, that could touch you. I just... nothing.
I have a feeling it was not a spur of the moment, heat of passion type, I'm going to shit on your head. This was probably a, let's see how fucked up we can be to this poor girl. I'm going to shit her on her head and make her keep blowing you. And John Laurinaitis was probably like, I don't like that idea.
But
Not
I'm
giving him any credit whatsoever.
But he's like, I'm
Because
that
maybe he
committed
was-
to being a scumbag. So yeah, let's do it, man.
Yeah. Or he's just that much of a lackey for Vince McMahon that he does whatever he's told to do, which might be even worse.
Yeah, they need to fucking lock these two up and just have all the top shrinks of the country go at him and just do some sort of study on this. Like, we found the most
I think they
depraved
just need
fucking...
to bend them over a fence, pull down their pants, and let the Budweiser Clydesdales run a train on them.
Well, a
Wow.
little corporal punishment. Yeah, outside the box, I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate
Just
that.
have some fellow prisoners shit on their head.
Yeah, you're going to Gen Pop. You're not getting the fucking posh
Yeah.
billionaire prison.
Yeah, you're not going to white collar criminal prison.
Man. Fucking wild.
Good Vince McMahon commentary, fellas. I'm proud of us.
I am not proud of you, Jeff. You're still a scumbag.
It kind of makes it.
I did
kind
better
of
this time around
shines-
than on Twitter.
It kind of shines the attitude era of
Era.
WWE in a bit of an unfavorable light.
Why? Was there poop stuff in that?
No, but in that
That was the
women
Pete
were
McMahon years. Oh, I
yeah,
see.
and women were extremely objectified in that time frame, and which is why I'll admit I enjoyed it so much as an 16 through 21-year-old, because
Oh,
You
should
know.
he see tit?
It was awesome.
it was, but
Yeah.
a lot of those storylines were very kind of degrading to a lot of those.
Sure.
And it makes it seem like Vince was just doing that to them all around off the air too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, part of the, like, my perspective on part of it is just like, I've kind of always thought the worst of Vince McMahon. I would say the shitting on this girl's head is surprising, just because it's surprising to hear anyone be able to do that. Just trying to visualize it. Not that.
Yeah, normal people's head didn't go to that place when they thought about the evils of Vince McMahon, that he's the type of person that shits on a girl's head. There
I
was
didn't
all
think that
kinds
type
of
of person existed, to be honest.
I know. Like, I always just
There's
pictured
all
Vince
other kinds
McMahon.
of things you could say about him, and just no normal person's thought process would go to he sexually assaults women. Yeah, of course, that seems like a very Vince McMahon thing to do, but taking it to that level where he's shitting on her while he's sexually assaulting her is a level of depravity that
Like the lawyers probably read
only
this
exists
and the
in
test.
movies.
Like the lawyers probably read this and like just went outside and started smoking cigarettes. Like what the fuck? Like what the fuck?
We have to fucking defend this. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, or the just or like the lawyer writing like the representative Janelle Grant was just like, wait a second, he did what? Let's take a minute. Let's take a minute here. I think I'm gonna go outside, take a shot of whiskey, and smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, I mean, I always pictured like Vince McMahon he would spend his days sitting on just a mountain of cash, kind of like the Joker in The Dark Knight, and just being like, all right, who are the wrestler widows that are still getting paid from this company? How do we fucking cut that off? Actually, can we sue any of them to get it back? I need more fucking money.
He's actually more evil. That's the crazy thing. He's actually worse.
Man. Yeah, because I really do feel like it does take a certain amount of evil to reach that point in life. Like, to get that far and that rich, you have to be so cutthroat to just absorb other people's ability to just fucking live a real life and be okay with it. Be like, yeah, I have enough money, but I want more, so I'm going to completely rob you of the ability to provide for yourself so I can just have a tiny bit more. I just want to watch my bank account go up a little bit more.
Even the angle of going about doing something evil for money makes sense because it's for money. Like this shitting on the girl's head where it's just like, what did you get out of that? Like that's crazy evil. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, jeez, dude. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're just kind of we dove in into the deep end of the pool on just this evil shit. But I really wonder what like his evil like Hall of Fame reel looks like. Like, what's his most evil day? Did he kill someone, shit on someone's head? Rob a WWE widow? Like, what's the most evil things he's done in one day? Just a 24-hour period.
I would say something.
What does that look like?
Something on par with what he did to this woman, and then you pair it with what Shuddy Boy, like he has some executive assistant that's kind of like Mark Hamill's character in Fall of the House of Usher. He was just like, you know what, I'm bored. Bring me some homeless people and a crossbow. And this guy just like drives around New York. Finds a homeless person and
I gotta watch that.
He opens up the door to the limo and like, hey, you look cold and hungry. You want to come in and have a burger and warm up? Like, shut the door. All the doors lock. Be like, you're going to meet Vince McMahon. Oh, the wrestling guy? Sweet. And then it's like, no. This is not going to be sweet. He is armed to the teeth. Have you ever seen Hostel? I would say that is Vince McMahon's most evil day.
Yeah.
He started his day with the stuff in this lawsuit and ended it with hunting homeless people hostile style. And then he probably just laid down on a bed and he's like, yeah, I'm the fucking man.
He passed out immediately as his head hit the pillow and just lost no sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I'm tired.
Yep. Well, rotten hell. Fuck him.
Do some voicemails or... Oh, yeah, we're not doing this today.
Hey, did you guys see any movies?
We already talked about the only two that I seen.
That was a serious transition. I don't think I have anything.
I mean, they did announce the Oscar nominations since we last got together.
Oh, that is a fun conversation, huh? It's ridiculous. They didn't nominate Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie, right? It's ridiculous. Like, if you're going to nominate anything from that movie, how do you not nominate Barbie?
Yeah, to nominate America Ferrera and Ryan Gosling, like, if that's the route you're going to go, if you're going to throw Barbie some noms, throw it to Greta Gerwig and throw it to Margot Robbie. Like, who walked out of Barbie and was like, man, Ryan Gosling deserves an Oscar for that?
I mean, he was really fucking good in it. But it is odd that they, like, it flies, like, it's almost like they did it to spite the movie itself, because it is exactly what the movie is opposing. Like, it's like the biggest contradiction to that movie is nominating Ryan Gosling over Margot Robbie, and coincidentally, the quarterback for the Detroit Lions looks like a poor man's Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know what just happened right there.
I tied it into football is what happened there.
It's keeping us both interested.
I mean, she did the screenplay got nominated, and Greta Gerwig wrote it, so she's still getting a nomination, just not for directing. And to be fair, in modern Oscar times, they nominate 10 movies for Best Picture, and all the other categories get 5. So half of the directors from Best Picture nominees are not getting nominated for directing, at least. Because sometimes they'll pull a wild card and they'll nominate a director whose film didn't make the top 10 for Best Picture.
Did you watch?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't understand how American Fiction, which just came out, got a nomination, but Iron Claw got nothing.
Yeah, I didn't see Iron Claw, but I know a lot of people were pretty dumbfounded that it didn't warrant a single nomination. And American Fiction did just come out, but they count release dates sometimes from the first time they screen, which is sometimes at a festival, which can be, 6 to 8 months before a movie even comes out in theaters.
Yeah,
right. But how does that
cheat code?
I just don't understand how they decide what gets nominated.
Well, because the filmmakers will run a campaign. Like if you're in LA, you see all the for your consideration billboards.
When I went to Deadline for the Vince McMahon information, I got a for your consideration for Kieran Culkin in Succession, which was funny.
Yeah.
Ad is what I meant to say.
Well, the like, I don't know. I feel like if you're an Academy member, they get sent screeners and shit. So even though American Fiction wasn't in theaters, if there's like a buzz or a campaign for it, the voters will get. And I don't even know. I'm kind of talking out of my ass because I don't fully understand the Academy voting process, but I know if you're a member, your vote counts, and they have their rounds of voting or whatever, and then I'm sure they saw the results, and I'm sure everybody was like, oh no, people are going to be pissed. Like, oh, what did we do? Fuck. Because it's not like it's 3 dudes in, tank tops and bandanas be like, all right, fucking broskies, what are we voting for this year? It's the entire Academy audience voting. And it's just, these are the results. And a lot of people voted to put Barbie as Best Picture, and not enough voted to put fucking Margot Robbie as Best Actress. And it's kind of, like you said, Shuddy, it's like that you just fucking did the whole plot of the movie.
Yeah.
And, I saw Barbie. I like Barbie. I didn't walk out thinking, here we go, Oscar sweep. And I know some people that Barbie was their favorite movie of the year, and were like, I honestly, forget the snubs, I can't even believe it got nominated for Best Picture. That's fucking wild to me.
I enjoyed Barbie thoroughly. I have no knocks on it whatsoever, but I didn't even think that it was a possibility for Oscar nomination.
Yeah, neither did I. So I know it crushed the box office, but like that doesn't factor in.
Yeah, that never factors in, or else Avengers would have been a Best Picture nominee for.
Yeah. And I walked out of Avengers being like, Infinity War, being like, holy fucking shit, I've been waiting my entire life for a comic book movie like that. But I was not like, oh, fucking snubbed, no. Because I know what they go for. They want the depressing shit. They want the artsy-fartsy shit. So I think people should be pumped that it got the nominations that it did. They definitely got some of that shit fucking backwards, though. I mean, that is a weird call for Ryan Gosling. I do think he's a great actor. I will watch the fuck out of Blade Runner 2049. My nerdy ass
Ryan Gosling
loves
kicks
that
ass.
movie. But,
Are you going to see that new movie of his with Emily Blunt?
I mean, I do like the Blunt. Big fan of E. Blunt as well. I don't know what movie you're talking about, but I'm sure I'll see it.
What the fuck is it called?
I always
Pita.
like to see what the, because I see a fuckload of movies every year, and it's like, all right, I know something's going to sneak in there in best picture that I didn't see. But this year, I think when they released the nominees, I had seen 6 of them. 6? Yeah, 6. So when the nominations came out, I texted Carl, and I'm like, all right, we're going to go to the movies this weekend. Let's see one of the best pictures we haven't seen yet. And we went with American Fiction. Because the 4 I hadn't seen were American Fiction, Past Lives, Anatomy of a Fall, and Zone of Interest. And I saw that Past Lives and Anatomy of a Fall you could rent on VOD. So we went to the theater, saw American Fiction, and then rented Anatomy of a Fall and Past Lives. Do you know anything about any of those movies, Jeff?
No. I have no idea what you just said. I was going to ask if you've seen Zone of Interest.
No, that's the last one. I've seen 9 out of the 10.
Fucking weird.
The only one I know about is American Fiction, and it's only from what I read on the AMC app when I was trying to find a movie to go watch this weekend and decided not to see anything.
Yeah, I mean, I had seen the trailer for it a bunch of times.
It has the guy from Westworld and Boardwalk Empire in it.
Yeah.
And he's an author.
Yeah. Yeah, it's...
All right, I just summed up the movie. We can move on. No, tell us about it.
So he's basically just an author, and his book sales aren't exactly where he would love them to be, and he sees this black woman whose book sales are through the roof, and he goes to like an appearance of hers, and everybody's kind of sucking her ass, and they're like, "Could you read us just a paragraph from your book? Just treat us to a passage." And she reads it, and it's all like in Ebonics and hooded out. And Jeffrey Wright's in the back, just like face palming, like, "Oh my fucking God, are you kidding me? This is what is selling?" So he gets wasted and tries to write as a joke. He writes an entire book the same way she wrote hers, gives it to his manager, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" He's like, "This is what you wanted, right? Go out and sell it. Go for it." And it gets a massive offer, becomes hugely popular, and he's just fucking pissed about it. And it's a funny premise, but the movie, which is about 2 hours long, hardly spends any time with the premise. It's mostly just about Jeffrey Wright and his family and this new girl he's dating. They hardly ever spend much time with that premise, and pretty much all the beats that go along with it are shown in the trailer. So, I don't know. It was a good movie, but after seeing it, pretty shocked that it's in the running for Best Picture.
It seemed like one of those where calling it a comedy was a bit of a stretch.
No, it was pretty funny. I mean, it's an Oscar comedy, so there's moments in it that are like super sad and depressing, but it definitely has its comic relief. There are definitely a handful of solid, funny moments.
Okay, so it's not just barely a comedy. That was my fear. That's why I didn't go see it. I thought it would be...
I did think it would be funnier, though. I thought it would be funnier, and for a movie that's got like a really solid premise like that, it's weird that it spent so much time on family stuff, and a lot of it didn't even get resolved. So I kind of left the theater scratching my head. I was like, all right, why introduce all that stuff if it had no payoff or no like real meaning other than to show that life gets messy, family life gets messy. So I don't know. When I start making my picks, I don't think I will be going with American Fiction, and it's like a 3.5 dicker. It's fine.
When are we going to be making our picks and signing Jeff's destiny to drink the cow urine?
Oh no.
I mean, the Oscars aren't until March 10th, so there's no rush. So if you guys want to take some time, if there's any stuff you want to make an effort to see if that'll help your decision making.
Of the 10 Best Picture movies that are nominated, I haven't heard of 4 of them.
Okay, which ones are those?
I've only seen one of them.
Oh shit.
Of the other
Barbie.
6. Yep. But I saw it twice, so technically I've seen 2 Oscar movies. Anatomy of a Fall, The Zone of Interest, Past Lives, and Maestro.
You don't know what they're about?
I know nothing about them. And prior to this conversation about American Fiction, you had known the grand total of what I've known about that movie prior. Jeffrey Wright, he's an author.
Well, Anatomy of a Fall has a shot with Jeff. Because it's...
Jeff see tit?
No, Jeff don't see tit, but it's Jeff's other white girl addiction, which is true crime. Even though it's not true, I had to Google it because it was so detailed and specific. I was like, this has to be based on a real thing, and I Googled it, and it's like, despite its true crime nature, this is actually a work of fiction. But it's like this this couple. They're kind of living in the French countryside, and they have a blind son, and the blind son's out walking with his dog in the backyard. He comes back and just finds his dad on the ground in the snow, just not moving, blood pouring out of him. Yells for his mom. His mom comes downstairs and freaks out. Holy shit! Calls the ambulance, crying and stuff. And then after they do an autopsy, they're like, this seems a little suspicious. And the woman gets put on trial. So it's like this, it was really, really well written. I mean, whoever wrote this fucking movie must know a lot about law and forensics and blood splatter and shit like that. And moida. Because it was just like the court scene stuff was really compelling. Like, one guy is like, oh, that motherfucker just made a really good point. And then it cuts back to the other guy and you're like, man, that guy just made a fucking good point. So it does kind of leave you scratching your head. And you're like, man, how is this going to fucking play out? And it was good. I liked it. It was a good flick. It's long. 2.5 hours. A lot of it's in French. So Jeff sees subtitle. Mm-hmm. Jeff sees subtitle. That's a big boner killer for Jeff and Shuddy.
Yeah.
But
I'm not big into Jeff C subtitle.
I'm going to ask a question, and then I'll explain why I need you to answer it. What movie was that you were just talking about that's French?
Anatomy of a Fall.
Okay. So we were still on Anatomy of a Fall, because somehow when that conversation started, even though I had the window minimized, Dustin's special started playing somehow, and I couldn't find it. So I had Dustin yelling in my ears while you were talking about the movie.
Yeah, Anatomy of a Fall is like a 4-dicker. That was good. And I could, despite it having subtitles,
movies I want to watch have either Kung Fu or Godzilla in them.
Gotcha. Or Tit.
Jeff C. Tit.
I could see you getting caught up in the legal aspect of it, because it was pretty fascinating. And then Past Lives is basically a story about this girl who was born in Korea, lived in Korea until she was like 10 or something, and her and this boy had a crush on each other. And then her family moves to America. She becomes Americanized. When she's in college, she kind of reconnects with him over social media, and they're chatting for a while and Skyping all the time, and seems a little romantic and flirty. And then she's just like, you know what? I'm never coming to Korea. You're never coming to New York. I got to focus on my shit. We got to stop talking. This is just a waste of time. She gets married. Years pass, and then dude finally makes a trip to New York, and they spend some time together, and it's like it's a little love triangle-y, and it's a really, really fucking thin premise. That is the entire premise. But it's definitely not a movie Jeff will like, 100%.
Thank you.
I'll save you the time.
Thanks for saving me. Yeah.
You will not like Past Lives, but it felt very real and raw, and it was pretty emotional. So I would be lying if I said I didn't get some mild chin wobbles. Got the waterworks from Carl, but it was heavier and more impactful than I thought it would be. It was a solid flick. I liked Past Lives.
So did you see this before it was nominated?
No. Carl and I just did like a triple feature this weekend of watching Oscar stuff. The only thing we didn't get to see, like I'm 9 out of 10 because of Zone of Interest, and that's the one I'm dreading the most. Like last year, I think it was West Side Story. It was just like, oh, that movie's so fucking long, and it's a musical. No. And I saved that for last, and it felt like a fucking eternity. I did not like that movie. I fucking hate musicals. There's a couple that slip through. There's a couple exceptions to the rule, but Christ, that was torture. And I have a feeling Zone of Interest is going to be the same way. It's like fucking... Every review that I skimmed on Letterboxd was fucking like gut-wrenching. A punch to the heart. God, I was devastated by this movie. Like, there we go. There's the no fun Oscar shit. Here, watch a movie about fucking Nazis.
Is that what it's about?
Yeah, it's like this Auschwitz guard and his wife build their dream house right next to Auschwitz so they can just be right there next to it all.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It's long commutes to work really suck.
You think that's the moral of the movie?
That's my main takeaway. So, man, it fucking sucks being stuck on the freeway on your way to work.
Yeah, who wants to take the 405 to Auschwitz?
Sounds like one of those like fucking misery porn movies.
Exactly, and I do not like those.
Kevin loves those. Oh, sorry.
Like the one that Frances McDormand one that won.
Oh, the Billboards? The 3 Billboards movie? Is that one? Oh, no. Oh, you're talking about... Nomadland.
Yeah, that's it. Nomadland.
Yeah, that was wholly depressing. That was another tough one to get through.
And then what about Maestro?
That's the Bradley Cooper one that went straight to Netflix. I think he wrote it, directed it, starred in it about Leonard Bernstein, the composer.
Okay, all right. You know what? I did know that.
So it was like a biopic, and I feel like I know nothing about the guy. I kind of like watching biopics that start where the person is still trying to reach their goals. So you see how they got there, you see their struggle, you see the turn of events that led them to where they are. This one kind of just throws you in the middle of it, and it pretty much just focuses on him trying to hook up with like dudes and women outside of his marriage, and his wife sort of tolerating it, and then her talking to her friends and going, darling, darling. And then she gets cancer, and then it's like, all right, well, this is fucking depressing. I know nothing about Leonard Bernstein, and I'm depressed. Sweet. So that's the condensed thoughts on Maestro. What else are you confused about, Shuddy? I'll cram all these down your throat.
I mean, there's nothing else I'm confused about. I just haven't seen The Holdovers, which I should because you've raved about it.
That movie fucking
I'm
rules.
interested in seeing that. I want to watch both Oppenheimer and Killers of the Flower Moon. The run times are just what? On
Astounding.
both of those. That's a full-time day job's worth of work right there watching those two movies.
Yep. Yeah.
Like that's over 6 hours.
I mean, as
So
much as
Oppenheimer's worth it. The other one, not quite.
Yeah, Jeff did not like Killers of the Flower Moon.
Who did?
And Poor Things was one that I had considered going to the theater to see this weekend.
I mean, that'll be Jeff's vote, just for the sheer amount of nudity.
My brother said that despite there being a bunch of nudity, there's no way I would like the movie.
Yeah, your brother's right. I was surprised to see that, though, get nominated because it's so fucking horny. I feel like the Oscars usually don't go so horny. You know, they like misery porn. And it sounds like they found some winners. God, I am going to see that fucking Zone of Interest movie, but god damn, it's like making the active decision to remove some money from your bank account in exchange for ruining your day.
Then why do it? Why? This is a good exercise for you to kind of break that completionist habit that's unnecessary and just.
I can't,
this is
Shuddy.
the time.
I can't do it.
This is the one.
I'm so close. I'm 9 out of 10. I gotta fucking see it. I always see all 10 of them.
But what's
you're
gonna
a completionist.
happen? What's gonna happen if you don't?
I don't even want to consider that, Shuddy.
Maybe you actually win the Oscar thing this year.
Yeah, I mean, I won last year.
Oh, right.
Listen.
I just remember me
Jeff
losing.
having to eat the surstroming. We both won. It doesn't matter who. Like we both won by not having to be involved in that.
Yeah, I'd argue
And
there's
if
never
anybody
a winner.
won in
There's
that
always
situation,
only a
it's
loser.
me, because I didn't have to smell it at all.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, the piss thing, man. Ah, the fucking piss. I mean, that's what we settled on, right? Loser drinks cow piss.
No, I mean
Kids we
specifically
settle
the safe to drink cow piss from the internet.
Yeah, because this isn't like just going out into the wild and rushing a farm and like,
I just wanted to make sure that we that by letting you so lackadaisically just call it cow piss, you could try and pull a switcheroo on Jeff or I.
No, Shuddy,
like,
there is no switcheroo. What do you think? What do you think I'm trying to do here? Am I angling to forego buying this thing so I can hop a fence and suck some cow's dick and drink straight from the tap? Like,
it could be that you're so confident you're not going to have to worry about it that you're going to now make Jeff or I go do that. If
also,
we lose.
well, cows don't have dicks. I just realized.
No, bulls do.
Yeah,
cows
we
have
all knew that.
genes.
Of course. Everyone knew that.
me especially.
Yeah. I almost cut you off, Shuddy, to tell him that, but thanks for jumping in before me.
Wait a second. I'm pretty sure I've been at like the checkout at 7-Eleven and they have like a thing by the register where you could buy that candy, cow
in your
dicks.
defense, Jeff, anybody who's watching the YouTube sees me for about 5 seconds get ready to correct Kevin, and then it fucking clicked that he was correct. Like I was gonna say he's wrong, but then it clicked. So you weren't the only one that needed a little moment to remember.
Both of you thought you could suck a cow's dick?
No.
That is
No, I wouldn't. That
is
would be
one,
stupid.
That's one mammal's dick that I wouldn't suck.
Exactly. I would not touch that mammal's dick with a 10-foot pole.
I mean,
if it were to have one,
have you
probably doesn't.
Shuddy, have you done any more Googling into that product that you found that is just bottle? It looks like a little energy drink, like a little vial of just piss. But I mean, do they treat it? Do they do anything to it? Do they add taurine, or do they just hold it up to some cow's cookie and make it piss in it? Do they test the piss first? I hope every batch gets like, yeah, this cow piss does not have hepatitis in it.
Gamutra.
They should make commercials for Gamutra. Have Logan Paul be the spokesman. Me and all my friends are always drinking cow piss. If you want to be the coolest kid in school, you'll fucking drink it too.
Be my friends.
We crack the lid, pour the piss in our mouths, and then we spit it like a fountain into each other's mouths. That's the manliest way you can drink cow piss with your bros. Broski. Shuddy, have you found...
Gross.
I'm fucking spinning my tires as long as I can here.
I know. I'm trying to find. I don't remember. I'm trying to find a bottle of it that I can see that information on, Kevin.
Well, you always claim to be the smartest man on the show. Sounds like you know nothing about cow piss, Mr. Genius.
Okay, it's distilled.
And Jeff knows what that means, right? What is distilled?
Means the bacteria was cleaned out of it.
Okay.
But how is it done, Jeff? That's a very vague answer.
Science.
It's a specific way to do that.
Okay. I would say by heating it.
We're getting
All
closer. Right. You're adding blocks to make this okay. Heating it how? Or for what
on a
purpose?
stove to clean it.
With warmth.
There's some sort of heating object, maybe even a fire. All right, hand up. I don't really know what distilled means.
I mean, you got
What,
really
you guys
fucking
wanna help
close
me out?
there.
Yeah.
You're boiling something so it evaporates, and then as it cools, you're collecting that liquid.
I actually
So-
did kind of know that. God damn it.
So, like, the easiest thing to think about it is moonshine. So, alcohol evaporates fast at lower temperatures than water. So, when the alcohol, the mash and everything is liquid and heated in the still, the alcohol evaporates and goes up through. You know what a moonshine still looks like, right?
I've never seen one now. I'll Google
I
it,
feel
though.
like you have, but it like goes through coils and cools down and drips out, and that's why the alcohol is so pure, because the water is separated.
Dude, these things are expensive. One's $1,200.
Yeah, but just
You
think
get-
about
you
all the
get
money you're going to
moonshine.
make from the moonshine you sell. Oh my God, it sounds like I got into some moonshine.
Can we do that legally here? Isn't moonshine illegal in some parts of the country?
I think it's illegal in a lot of parts of the country.
But you can get a stovetop still for $89.99 on Amazon.
I heard that, and again, this is just probably some urban legend shit, but I heard that if you get your hands on some true moonshine, there's a lot of places that you can go, like Bevmos and shit, where they're selling stuff that's labeled as moonshine, and it's not even fucking close to being moonshine. But like the legit
it's
stuff.
Because, I mean, it is moonshine, but they add water to it, so the alcohol content is lower.
Yeah, it's not. What is true moonshine's like 195 proof or something crazy like that.
Yeah, it's like Everclear.
And if I've heard that if you do a shot of it, like, you could lose your vision for a few minutes. Is that true, or did I get myth busted?
That should be an Oscar punishment, huh?
right, hold
a
on.
shot of moonshine.
I'm gonna Google this motherfucker. Does doing a shot of moonshine make you momentarily?
I would just say make you blind and let Google fill in.
Yeah.
Fill in
Do
the
its
rest.
magic.
Yeah.
Oh, not if you're careful.
Not if
This
you
you
wear
don't
glasses.
pour it on your face and light a match. Like,
This pervasive question is due to moonshine lore, which abounds with myths of blindness but few actual documented cases. The concern is due to the presence of methanol, wood alcohol, and optic nerve poison, which can be present in small amounts when fermenting grains or fruits high in pectin. So I guess it has the possibility, but it doesn't really happen. Man, I had...
wood alcohol is what people got forced to drink during Prohibition.
When I had my apartment, my very first apartment when I was 20, the legendary apartment of just 365 Ragers, someone showed up with a bottle of Everclear once and was like, "Flaming shots, man, we're really fucking doing some flaming shots." And this is one of those rare moments where I was like, you know what? Enough people volunteered. I'm just going to sit back for once and observe the stupidity rather than participate in it. So this fucking guy who, I think he was this guy's brother, this kid that I worked with at McDonald's, his like older brother came and brought it. And he pours the shot, he lights it, and drinks it with the flame still going. So it made a goatee of fire around his mouth, and he didn't even know it. And we're like, "Dude, your fucking face is on fire. Dude, your face, pull your face out." And he's like, huh? And just like, gingerly swats it out. And then he's just sitting there like, and it fucking reignites. We're like, "Dude, your fucking face is on fire again." And like, I did not know this, but apparently when you do a flaming shot, you're supposed to blow it out first.
Yes.
I always thought that was the cool part of a flaming shot. You fucking
don't be a pussy and blow that out.
Yeah. But yeah, he had a flaming goatee. It was fucking sick. Oh shit. We've been going for a very long time now. Hey. There's your show, everybody. Thank you for listening, friends.
I'll see ya.
Yeah. The work doesn't stop for us. We're doing a Patreon show after this, and if you would like to hear it, and the 300 plus Patreon shows we've done in the past 6 years, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. Tons and tons of excellent stuff on there. Woo! Man, I just made Jeff watch the first episode of One Piece for Dragon Ball Queef. Spoiler alert, he fucking hated it. So if you want to hear
One piece of shit.
If you want to hear a salty Jeff very, very angry about an anime, that's a good one to watch.
Yeah. I knew I was going to have a fucking losing weekend sports betting after I watched that piece of shit.
Oh, you're blaming.
You didn't like Luffy?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that was...
I did not like the way he treated Kobe. I'm not down for the bullying, dog.
Man, so that was, I think, our 37th episode. That means Jeff, because we double dipped on Food Wars, Jeff has seen at least one episode of 36 different anime. Is that like the craziest statement ever made in the history of the show?
It might be.
Yeah, if you told me that 12 years ago, I would have called you a liar.
I would have
Black
hired
Lagoon
an
is the
assassin.
only one that I've been like, you know what? I should go back. Should go back and watch that.
Draven actually just picked up the final manga of Black Lagoon today.
Yeah, that one was sick. But yeah, you can follow Jeff's anime adventures amongst many, many other things. So patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. If you would like to see these episodes instead of listening to them, you can check out the Zoom feed on our YouTube, youtube.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. And you can also follow us on Instagram. I'm at Kevin Kraft.
I'm at Shuddy Boy.
Jeff for Records.
And at MSPH Podcast and at John Cooper Movie. And if you are a sports junkie like Jeff and you need some hot tips for your gambling picks, check out Outkick Bets with Jeff Clark.
That's right. Only the Super Bowl left for the NFL portion of the podcast, but I'll be doing golf this week and really moving forward to the end of the season and a lot of NBA. So if you're into betting on golf and the NBA, definitely give my podcast a listen. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys next football season.
I will say I am very curious, MSPH-wise, for Super Bowl prop bets, because I know those get weird.
Yeah, I'll look for some weird stuff that might get you interested, or at least that we can talk about on the podcast, this podcast.
Yeah. All right, and that's about it, friends. Thank you all for listening, but until next time, something.